Hey there, I am hanging out in my kitchen. Literally have two of our air purifiers from the house. One we usually have here right to the side of me here, and the other one usually keep in the bedroom. And I wanted to come and show y'all basically me changing out my filters. And yeah, and I just want to share that with y'all, hang out for a little bit. If you have any questions, even though this is not currently live, it is pre-recorded, comment and then let me know. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this one here, I want to make sure and get this right. So this specific purifier is the one we usually keep in the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and take out the old pods that we have. And we, actually this one, now that I'm looking at it, just kidding, I fibbed. This one was actually from the bedroom. And the reason why I know is because the pod scent is jammy time. And usually the one that we keep in the bedroom does normally have pods that are like fresh, sometimes floral, but usually it's either fresh, which is what Derek, my hubby, usually likes for the most part, especially jammy time. But I personally like to have more of like a woodsy, holiday, outdoor scent. So with that being said, we're actually going to switch it over. And I think I'm actually going to put, I take it back. We're actually going to stick with the fresh category, but we're going to do Arctic Kiss. So that one is currently available. And then in the kitchen, we're going to use the cinnamon pine cones in the kitchen. So I wasn't sure if I want to do that one for the bedroom or not. So as of now, it's going to be in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to leave it plugged in, but I need to change the filters out. And if you didn't already know this, when you purchase your air purifier, it does automatically come with a filter. But I do recommend getting a second one. So then that way, once it's time to change it out, which it varies honestly for everyone. For us personally, I think that I've needed to change these for about 2 months now. But I think the filter lasted, for us, I want to say about 2 months. So it's definitely overdue. I will say that personally, even though our house is older and we have a cat and we have a dog, I find that we usually get more dust in our living room, in our bedroom. But I feel like the reason being is because we don't have a lot of natural light in our bedroom. So it's nice and dark and cool. But the problem with that is that there's not a lot of circulation. I'm not sure of the science behind all that, but I just know that the darker the rooms that we have, the less natural light, for some reason or another, the more dust collects in each of the rooms. So typically I find that the one that we have here in the kitchen, even though we do still change it out as soon as the light usually comes on, if not, as soon as possible. But I just find we don't really get normally as much dust collected with that one anymore. But just so you know, with your filter, always make sure and take the plastic off of it. I know sometimes, especially with the new air purifiers, the filter, when you get it new, the filter actually is already in there. So a lot of times people will just plug it in, turn it on, and then go about their business. But you have to make sure and remove the plastic first. So that's the new one. Clearly, squeaky clean, eggshell white. So this is the one that I said that we had in our bedroom. And I'm going to go ahead and change the filter out. It's very user-friendly, by the way, when you need to change it out. The lid, it literally, you just spin it and it unlocks and then you just pull it out. Now this is definitely looking like it has been in there for 2 months too long. Clearly y'all can see the difference. It's like 9-day. So obviously the old one, new one. So we're going to go ahead and put that back in the box. And like I said, it varies as far as how often you need to change it out. And that means when the light indicator comes on your air purifier, it just varies depending upon your household. You have to factor in how many pets do you have. If you do have pets, do they have dander? Do they have long hair, short hair? Also the square footage of the room that you're putting the air purifier in. I usually suggest to my customers, I would suggest if you do get the air purifier or have one, put it in a smaller space. However, ours is, as you can see, here, I'll kind of lift up so you can see our kitchen. So kitchen into the living room is a little bit more of a sort of like open concept. But I feel like that we can get away with having the air purifier over here to the side because we for a while, honestly, we did have it in our living room, but because that is like an open floor plan in the living room, we really were not, it just wasn't, it wasn't serving any purpose, honestly. And we usually have about a handful of warmers going in the living room anyways. So I found that whenever we had the air purifier really close to like a warmer, if not more than one, the wax was not actually warming to completion because the air purifier was doing its job and it was working, it was working against the warmer, if that makes sense. And so the wax wasn't warming all the way down. And we found that like parts of the wax was melted down, warmed down, the rest of it was not. And it was just like a hot mess. So we ended up moving that air purifier into the kitchen. And let me tell y'all, it works wonders because anytime you're cooking with grease, like we cook with grease a lot, we love us some bacon. So when we're cooking with grease, or if we're doing any side of like, baking or messing with the oven, anything of that sort, sometimes, I know on occasion, we've burnt popcorn before in the past. That always has come to our rescue because that air purifier kicks on instantly, sucks out all those bad fumes, and then it usually takes maybe a couple minutes and then we're good to go, which is great. So let's go ahead and put the new one back in there. So we've got that. Literally just drops right in. I will say I'm really bad about not wiping these down. So if you can, make sure and get a cloth and then just wipe it down because especially this one that stays in our bedroom because of our cat, does get a lot of dust and animals like cat fur on there. So definitely make sure and get a cloth and wipe it down. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it back into place. Again, it's very user friendly. It does have little indicators on the air purifier as far as how to line up the lid and then twist it to make sure it's locked in place. I will say I personally get very impatient with this part, even though it's so simple, because there's an arrow and all you have to do is line the arrow up with the lock, push down, and then lock it. But I'm lazy and stubborn and don't always look for the arrow to match it up. All right, so that's done. Now, typically what you can do, usually this works for me. I'm going to turn it around. So as you can see here, the light's on right now. And so you want to make sure and reset that so it goes away and you're letting the air purifier know, hey, there's a new filter in here. We're good to go. So typically in the past, I have been able to press this and hold it in and then it usually resets itself. So we'll see, because sometimes I have to unplug the cord. Let's see, let's turn it on. I'm going to hold it in. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I didn't have to unplug it that time. So as you can see here, the light is gone. So that means we're good to go. And then I can go ahead and turn it back on. Everything's good to go. It's lighting up like it should. Gotta love that white noise magic. I'm gonna go and turn that one off for now. And the pods, it's so easy, y'all, to put the pods in. Put your pods, take your pods. Literally gonna drop it inside of there. You can do it upside down, upside right, either way you're good to go. All right, so that one's done. So let's go ahead and real quickly change out the other one. And I definitely want to compare the filters because I'm curious to see like which one is going to be like more dusty out of the two. Let me do that real quick. So we're going to turn it upside down. And again, super dusty because your girl, I squirrel, y'all. Dusting is something that's not always on my to-do list. Guilty as charged. All right, so let's go ahead and pull that filter out. And as you can tell, it's really not as dusty as the one was that was in our bedroom. Hopefully y'all can see the difference. Ooh, I can see all the dust bunnies flying around. So I don't know if y'all can see the difference, but that one was actually in our bedroom. And then that one was in the kitchen. But you can definitely tell that the coloration is pretty similar. And like I said, it was close to 2 months behind where we should have actually already changed them out. So there you go. So there's those two. And definitely in desperate need of a clean one. So same thing. Just make sure to take it out of the box, take the plastic off, put it in, screw it, put your pods back in, and then you're good to go. Simple as that. This is an ideal gift, by the way, for the holidays. If you're not sure what to get somebody for the holidays, this is something that's ideal for them. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, who doesn't like clean air, right? But yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, have a great Saturday. Have a great Saturday. Have a good weekend. Bye, y'all.